4, 3, halfway there, totally protected. 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now?
I'm in a village or town with houses made of stones, and it's very hot.
Very good. In my head, I have a feeling where you are, but I'm not going to say. But I just want you to go ahead and look
Yeah.
at yourself. Do you have a form in this place?
Yes, I'm a man, a human.
What color is your skin and what are you wearing?
I'm very dark skinned, brown, and I'm wearing sandals on my feet. Now wearing some kind of skirt, almost. And I think
Did you say scarf?
skirt.
Skirt. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, it's like something wrapped around my waist.
Like a tunic.
Yeah, reaching down to my knees, and the lower part of my legs are bare. And then I just have these sandals on my feet.
And what about the upper part of your body?
I have some kind of shirt that I put over my head. There is no button. I tried it over my upper body.
How old do you feel?
I think I'm about 25.
And the space that you're in, are you inside this stone home or are you outside?
I'm walking the streets. There's a stone paved street, and there's a lot of people around. I think I'm a carpenter,
Oh,
because I have some tools in a belt around me. It's a wooden club and some
Scissors.
no, not scissors. You know, when you carve something out of stones.
Okay.
Scissor.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. You have a mallet and a,
I think you call it sizzle.
yes.
They say sizzling.
Oh, a sickle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a metal thing you use when you're carving in stones. So you hit with a mallet to make shape of stones.
Understood. It's really interesting. It leaves it's not on. It's almost on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But a chisel.
Chisel, yes,
Chisel.
yeah,
Yes. It just popped off on my tongue and out my mouth. Chisel. Very good.
yes.
Okay. So, can are people acknowledging you, or do they see you?
Yes, they see me.
What do you think your name is? Just curious.
Rana. Rana.
Very good. And What country comes to mind that you think you're in?
I think I'm in. They look like they are from Egypt.
Yeah, that's the first thing when you got there. That was the first thing that entered my mind. And even before we, yeah, excellent.
And when they're talking, it sounds like Arabic language.
Very good.
And they are dressed like that. So I think I'm in somewhere in North Africa anyway.
Oh, very good. Um, I'd like to do something a little bit unorthodox, but if you would, and I'm sure you're game, I want you to just float right up into the air, high into the air, and I want you to just look around and tell me, uh, do you see the pyramids?
Yes, I can see them in the distance.
How are they completely built?
Yes, I think so. There's
Are
a
you
little one that not seems completed. Or they
there?
are not little, but comparing to the other three, that is a little one.
Okay, are you still in the air, or can you just see them even before you went into the air?
No, I see them now, are floating high above the city. And
Oh,
the
very,
city is not that big, but it's just on the rim of the big river.
the
And
Nile.
I think so.
Yes, that's it for sure.
And they are very narrow streets. They are like a small alleyway
Now,
roads. Yeah, they are very narrow, so you can't go in there with any wagon or something like that. It's too
understood.
narrow.
And while you're there in the air, can you see the Sphinx?
No, I think it's on the other side of of where I see now.
How do you prefer? Do you prefer to be on the ground, or would you?
I can travel there when I'm here flying.
Okay, so let's fly to the other side, and I just want you to tell me what the Sphinx looks like. I think it may be in its original form, and that would be amazing for you to see.
Yes, it is. I'm there. And there is, oh, it's so much bigger. And there are buildings surrounding it, and the foundation is totally different.
Is the Sphinx complete?
Yes.
Very good. And would you prefer, would you like to land? I just want you to land close to it and really give me the visual, or even as you're in the air, can you give me the visual of the platform that it's sitting on?
The platform is very big. It's a big, big square as the foundation, but then it's continue for several hundred yards around. So there are more buildings, and there are several levels under the Sphinx.
You can actually see the levels under the Sphinx?
Yes, I can.
What is
There are people there working.
uh, in a quarry-like scenario, or
They chisel out stones, and they are making some repairs, but they're also lining some buildings with almost a white kind of stone, very smooth. I think
uh,
it's some kind of limestone or something like that, but it's very white.
beautiful. And what about the face of the Sphinx?
It's like a queen.
So there's a female's face on the Sphinx then.
Yeah, that is the expression I got,
And
showing a female.
the nose isn't blown off or anything.
No.
Ah, beautiful. And the pyramids, are they also covered with this white
Yeah.
limestone or granite?
Yes, they are. They are smooth surface.
And are you still in the air or have you landed?
I'm on the ground now.
Okay. Now remember when I had a desire for you to come to this particular place. Well, just go ahead and give me your feeling and description of the Great Pyramids at Giza. The one on the Cheops is the big, large one on the Giza Plateau, and just describe them and how do you feel being in their presence.
They are. They are symbols for a really powerful kingdom, but it's also built for a purpose for the gods. The gods are using them for communication between where they come from.
Understood. And the information that you're gathering right now, is it in your memory or is just the feeling that you're gathering from just being in that space?
It's just coming to me. It's almost like it coming from the pyramid itself.
I've been there to Egypt in our time, and I actually went inside the pyramid. There was a room where they called it a sarcophagus, but we know that's not what it really is. Um, how would you like to travel inside this room and really give us a good description of that place?
Yes, I can go in because I'm one of the leader of a group of workers. So I'm like
Foreman.
a group leader for a big group of workers. So I'm
Excellent.
allowed to exit
So,
in.
what does the entrance really look like before it was?
It's several entrances. There's one in the ground level. There's one higher up on from where I'm standing on the left side. There are also levels under the ground that are not known to man today.
Do you have
They
access to?
still haven't found it.
Do you have access to those as well?
Yes.
Well, if we could go and they call it the King's Chamber. If we could go in that one first, and then we'll go to the other places later. And just, I remember going up the stairs and everything inside of there. But if you could give me the script on what it's like when it was originally before it was,
It's a rather steep stairway up,
yes.
and it's not high in it. You have to bend down a little bit to go up.
In certain places, yes.
Yes. And that's a purpose because it needed to be that because of the weight of this stones around there, or
Okay.
it should collapse of the weight of the top stones above. And there are
Ex-
6 chambers, and one chamber is in the staircase, but you have to move several stones to get access to that, so that is a secret chamber.
What was that chamber designed for? Do you know?
It should hold some kind of, there should be some kind of technical equipment. Gold, big squares of gold. It's about, I think, 5 feet times 5 feet, and it's almost a feet thick.
Is this gold used as an energy source or as...
Yes,
Oh, very good.
it used to. They polish it and they can hit it with some kind of hammer, or I can't see clearly what it is, but when they hit it, they can levitate. The vibration is the same vibration, so it's cancel out the gravity.
Almost like a tuning fork or a divining rod or something to that effect.
Yes.
But they're not showing you what the shape is, huh? That's interesting.
No.
That's okay. Then if you could go ahead and proceed to the one that we call the King's Chamber in this time frame.
It's a bigger chamber you can go into, and there's a stone foundation made of several slabs of stones, and there's like a lid on top, but it's not anything in there yet. It's made for the rest of the king.
I did a session actually last week, and they were in that chamber, and that was not it was not used as some type of dead king or anything like that. It was totally different.
No, they use this area and space and gathering for, they are gathering there for some kind of meetings they have to. There's a man here, he won't tell me what they're doing, but he showed me that they're surrounding this big slab of stones, sitting, and I can see he showed me 5, 6, 7 people surrounding this, and they all have their hands, palms on this stone in front of them, holding on there, and they are talking telepathically.
Very good. That's sort of like what that came out in that session. I know when I went there, that top was off of that, and I actually laid down inside of it, and
yes, this is not decorated in here in any way. It's just smooth. It's just a smooth chamber.
exactly. When I went there before, well, the entrance, I'm trying to put you to the test. How was the entrance? I just know it was off to the right.
Yes, to the right, and it's rather narrow entrance. They are going to block that entrance later.
And then you have to, I remember in order to get in there, I had to really duck down and then I could stand up once I got inside.
Yes, you have to crawl in almost.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Interesting.
But
In the
there are
section,
more like this in this pyramid and also in the other pyramid, and there are places that I haven't found out yet.
oh, very good.
And also around these wings is underneath the pyramids and underneath these wings are many secrets hiding.
When I did the session the last time in one of these chambers, there were people and that were in a group, and then there were these orbs with looked like lightning in it, and they were the people that were in the group were like yourself, like carvers and architects who were getting information, and then they were spreading it all over the planet, uh,
Yes.
learning how to build these structures.
The gods are the messenger that telling us what to do and how to build it, and they have these blueprints for us, and they saying that this is going to connect all the area of the planet. They're going to be in every continent in different shapes. They are going to be in South America.
Yes, under
What is now called South America, and India, Burma. They're saying this name to me, Burma, and
are they like on the ley line, like beacons on the ley lines?
yes, they all connected together like some kind of linkage for transporting whatever they want to transport.
Ah, amazing. So before we actually see or meet these, what they're calling the gods, could you go ahead and go back and go under the Sphinx, and even under the pyramid? You decide which one first, and just give us an idea of what's under there.
I'm not allowed under the pyramid.
Oh, very good.
It's
And what?
very, very, very secret place.
Excellent.
A sacred place.
Yeah. So I was gonna. Yeah, very good.
It's a holy place where we're not allowed. No mortal is allowed there.
Understood. And what about under the Sphinx?
Yes.
The same.
There is my man work.
Oh, that's where your men are working.
Yes.
What are they working on?
They're making different chambers.
Understood.
There are chambers there for collect. They are going to store valuables there. Uh, Valuable stones, gold, metals.
Um, what time before the what time? How far does it come to mind? How far back in time you are, or the
From now it's about 4,700 years.
4,700 years? 4,700 years. The pyramids literally had um, the limestone coverings and everything, polished white,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Excellent. Now, what I like to happen, if possible, is for you to see who these entities are that call themselves the gods, and how they get there and how they communicate. So I'd like you to move into this place and be there in the count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there. 2, almost there. 1, safe and protected and just observing. Or maybe there. Or are you not?
They're coming in shiny chariots through the air.
Literally shaped like chariots?
No, they're shaped like almost like a horseshoe. Not a little more triangle. There's a little pointy in front, and then long sides, and then there's a space in the back that are curved in.
Understood, understood. It's interesting that you said chariot. It's almost as if you were there, like you were. Very good.
I am here.
Oh, I mean, yes, absolutely. And so, how do
They,
they land?
they just they just set it down. They have some kind of tripods or something under.
Oh, very good.
No, it's a door or a hatch opening under, and they are soaring in the air a couple of feet over the ground.
Ah, they're hovering. Very good.
Yes.
And as they come out, I'd like you to give me a descript of what they look like, please.
They're very tall, beaming of light.
They
Big,
have like
big
light.
black eyes.
Oh my.
There are several other species coming also. There are small, leathery skinned species also, like they are gray. They are like they are servant to the bigger one.
And what does the bigger ones? What is its head shape like?
It's shaped like an egg almost, but the top of the head is it's not like an egg, but the face is a little bit stretched. Big black eyes, a very little nose, almost like 2 holes only,
Understood.
and no ears and no hair. And I have some white sheets covering the bodies. They are tall, very
How
tall.
tall would you say compared to the average man there?
At least 4 or 5 feet taller than the average man.
And what do their hands look like, or maybe even their feet?
Very slender body and arms and legs. It's make me smile because I almost think they could be a little wobbly when they're walking, but they're not. They're almost floating and moving very gracefully.
What about their hands? How many fingers can you detect?
No, because the robe is covering their arms and hands.
Oh, very good. And when they land and they come out, where do they go directly?
They just came out of that chariot and stand in front of it, and all work stopped, and everyone fell down on their knees and greeting them as gods, greeting them and welcome them. And some are afraid that they are going to be punished because they are not ready with the work. But it's very hard work that we do. But they're helping us with another thing we use is these gold slabs to transport heavy things, and they help us to tune it to the right frequency to levitate this big block of stones.
So I was told, I saw on a show one day, or maybe it was just online, where a guy was saying that the stones were made from some type of concrete with shells, and that's how they were. But you're saying these stones were carved and put together.
No, it's solid rock.
Exactly. Interesting. Very good.
Solid rock that are manipulated with help of, they alter the gravity. But there is still very hard work. There are many slaves working here that are enslaved by the gods and the rich gentleman that is having the contact with these beings, these gods.
Are they considered the pharaohs or the what you would call the aristocrats, or?
Yes, they are all a family of the kings.
Oh, very good.
They are, yes, aristocrats, you can call them that.
And so these particular entities play a large role in the fall and the vibration on the planet.
Them and other species bring hostility and demands that affect the collective all over this planet.
So as you can see, what color is the skin of the big ones with the big egg heads?
A little bluish.
Ah, interesting. And you have them, and then you have the little gray ones. You said there were several species. What other type of extraterrestrial species are there?
There are also they are considered being technicians or engineers, that they have the ability to manipulate matter, and they can also do some experiment on the humans. And it's the taller ones that allow this to happen.
Oh my.
And the gray ones is the one that collect they say, specimens for exploring and taking advantage of.
Oh my goodness. How does it make you feel to be in their presence?
I'm afraid.
And do you think that this is an expression of yourself that has actually experienced this? An expression of Lars who...
I've been manifested here. Yes.
Oh, very good. I know that I have been told that I've manifested there as well, but as one of those guys with the big heads, though. Um,
I'm trying to make myself as small as possible, almost like I wanted to be invisible, because they can, with just the movement of a hand, collect several humans to use for experiments.
and what happens? They what come together, levitate in the air, and are just taken by force as such.
The gray ones almost carry them and collect them.
Or when they are taking them out, do they resist or?
Some try, but they knock them out in some way, because as soon as they start to resist, they just suddenly collapse or be catatonic.
Understood.
It's just like they altered their minds to be unconscious.
And in that form that you're in right now, is there? Can you tell what the name of these groups are, or what these groups are considered? Who they're? I know you say Greys, but would this group be considered what we call the Anunnaki?
I don't know.
Very good. That's okay.
They don't tell us anything.
Very, very good.
We are supposed to treat them like gods.
So heads bowed, down on the ground.
Yeah, the face in the sand, the knees and elbows on the ground.
Knees and elbows on the ground. So just while you're there, before we move away from this scene, is there anything else of interest that you think that you could share with what you're looking at and experiencing?
Yes, I know that I'm a part of a conspiracy to free ourselves from their tyranny or the grip they hold on us. It's getting a bigger group to start an uprace, but many are too afraid, because they have powers that we can't understand and don't know where it comes from. I don't consider them as gods. I consider them as bullies. They are just here to exploit us and to get to our resources, and they force us to collect all valuable metals and matter into these different chambers, and they just come and transport it from there. The species that are considered to be engineers are the one that collect all of these items in special chariots or big. It's almost like big boats, but they fly.
And they're taking these resources off planet?
I don't know. They take it away.
Ah, very good. Very good. Thank you very much for that information. And I'd like you to drift away from the scene, drifting and floating away from the scene and leaving everything there. And what I'd like to do is for you to move into the future of this space here and tell me when these entities are conquered and when they're having to leave the planet. If you could specifically move to that time frame, and we're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now? What is taking place in this time frame, please?
There's a war going on. There's big explosions.
Is this the same life that you were in previously, or is this far into the future?